Antonio Brown, that's Antonio Brown without his uniform, we are told, without his jersey, and running onto the field. I don't know if that could have been a penalty.
All right, Jen Hale, get after that. We got to find out what's going on there.
She's got to.
What up, Doe? It's your boy, Everything Deezy, man. And we with a new little segment right here where I'm just going to basically react to everything in fashion, finance, business, football, any sport, just basically everything we can react to. We're going to talk about all the topics that we got going on. First and foremost, shout out to the parents for the graduation hoodie, stand up. But today, honestly, we're going to talk about something today that the news on it is just crazy. Roll the clip, man.
Bruce Arians and the offensive staff told Antonio Brown to go into the game. They believed that he was healthy. Antonio Brown did not believe that he was healthy. He had been battling an ankle injury for the last several weeks, did not practice Thursday, did not practice Friday, and I know personally had some doubts whether or not he would be able to be out there and play. What he told the staff, from what I understand, is that he was not going into the game because in his mind, he did not feel he was healthy. The response then from the offensive coaches and from Bruce Arians was, if you are not going to go into the game, when we tell you to go into the game, then you cannot be here. At that point, they threw him off the sidelines and then cut him from the team. So
basically, on top of that, what people don't understand is that he was close to reaching his goal of his incentives. And what people might not know about NFL contracts is there's not a lot of guaranteed money. Like the NBA players, they're getting way more guaranteed money. Basically, almost every sport gets more guaranteed money than majority of NFL players. And looking into his contract, there were 3 incentives, I believe, that were $333,000 a piece that would have given him basically an estimated $1 million in incentives. I believe one was for a touchdown, one was for yards, and one was for receptions. And these incentives to get money in your contract are based off your position. So I played defensive tackle in college, so my incentive could have been maybe hitting 30 tackles with 10 to 12 for loss. Or maybe getting 2 sacks in the season might give me an extra 10, 20,000. But in terms of him and his caliber of play, Hall of Fame level, his was $1 million in incentives with his contract. So people got to take that into consideration, man. He's got his livelihood. He might have needed the money because of how he might have been living and spending his money. We don't know his circumstance, so therefore it's really not for us to judge why he needed it. But all I know is that the bag was on the table for him to make. And honestly, he left the bag on the table. And the coaches might not have also allowed him to get the bag. Now, that's something else that people don't talk about. There's been instances where coaches or GMs will tell somebody, hey, we don't want this guy, we don't want to pay this guy this money, so make sure we limit his count. Therefore, if you're a wide receiver and you need to get extra catches to get the extra $1 million that you might need, the coach might say, hey, let's not target, let's run the ball, or let's throw to different targets or feature other guys. Or let's say you're a running back. They might say, hey, let's hand the ball to somebody else. You know what I'm saying? Or let's limit his carries and we're going to throw down the field now. Or you just never know, but this is a game. But we also have to understand that the NFL is also entertainment business as well. So if it doesn't make dollars, it doesn't make sense. And when you're in the NFL and your job is to get paid for your physical performance, best believe that your body is now an entity and a representation of the owners that are putting you on the field. So therefore, people have to look at that dynamic as well. So it might not have just been a meltdown. The next topic I want to speak on is the fact that I believe Antonio Brown does need help. I believe that the way he conducted himself in this situation could have been handled better. Now, you're playing with people's money, you're playing with people's respect. Looking at certain people's upbringing and where they're coming from, they're going to handle that in different ways. Now, looking into the situation, he tells him you can go ahead and leave. He left, but he made a big scene. He's a flamboyant guy. He likes to show off. He made a big scene when he left. And we also know that that is not an isolated incident. He did do a similar thing with the Raiders where he got into it with Coach Gruden about the helmet and just all kinds of situations that just made people look at him like, wow, man, like what's going on? And then on top of that, player misconduct with the Facebook Live and how he carried himself with other misconduct that might not have been released with the Steelers, but that people like Ryan Clark have spoken of, have talked about with the Steelers. Also, the incident with the vaccination card. And then you also got the incident with the Patriots where, he was dealing with the ongoing case at the time where you have that. So there has been a lot of incidents with him that have been talked about and that have come to surface now because of this incident. So I believe that he really does need to get help because honestly, your mental health is just as good as your physical health. And we all know that Antonio Brown is in amazing shape. He's never been told that he couldn't go. He always tries. He does his off-season training. If you've never seen it, I might post some clips on here while the video's going. But the man stays in amazing shape. He loves the game. And when he's 100%, nobody works harder than him. Nobody grinds harder than him. Nobody puts in the hours more than him. Like he does it. So do I believe this is just a meltdown? No. I believe that there was a lot more factors to take into this incident. But I definitely believe that he still needs to get the mental health that he needs to get 100%. So my next thing I want to talk about is how can he bounce back? Now, in the NFL, the average span of an NFL player is honestly barely over a season. He's been grateful to play as long as he has and has had a Hall of Fame caliber career on the field. On the field, he has had a Hall of Fame caliber career. And one of the things you'll see Shannon Sharp talk about, it came up with T.O., definitely want to respectfully not compare, but kind of compare a little bit, but respectfully. When it came to the Hall of Fame voting of whether or not he got in or not, they wanted to say that it also extended into the locker room. Now, we also know that there's been plenty of players that are in the Hall of Fame, where if we did look at their careers off the field, they probably might not look in there if we wanted to count off the field as an extension of the locker room with their conduct as well as on the field. But I believe that with the proper help, it would take at least a year with the proper help on his own terms, not from somebody else, but from his own terms of him seeking the counseling that he needs to get his mind right, because you can't have a righteous mind without you can't have a righteous body without a righteous mind. Like when they camp, sound mind, sound body. You gotta make sure they're both on the same accord. So I just want to see him get the help that he needs, because with that, I believe that he is one of the best wide receivers to play the game, most definitely. And people need to also understand with the dynamic of the game, players get into it with coaches all the time. Shannon Sharp spoke about it. Hey, these are grown men. Like, look at the Urban Meyer situation. These are grown men you're coaching. These aren't college players anymore. I'll admit that there's been times where I've had some coaches talk to me a certain type of way that I did not respect, and I might not have dealt with it right then on the field, but in the office, we might have had to have conversations. Or on top of that, I've seen other players get into it with coaches. I've seen chairs thrown. I've seen actual physical altercations behind closed doors. So this is stuff that does happen off the field. But this is the first time that people are really seeing an on-the-field meltdown in the middle of a game, like reaction to something so egregious. But like I said, there's a lot of emotions. It's your life. You put your work into this craft. You want to make sure you're at the best of your ability, but also when there's money involved, your feelings involved, we always know that that's always a catastrophe and a mixture for disaster. So, like I said, man, leave y'all comments below. I want to say, Antonio Brown, if you was to see this video, man, I'm a huge fan of you, bro. You inspire me to work hard. You inspire, like when I was playing the game, but also off the field, when you was doing your workouts, your grind, you was going to colleges, speaking, dude. Come on, man. I want to see you pull through, brother. I wish you well. And even if it's not on the field, off the field, on the field again, lacing up your cleats one day and putting your helmet back on and your pads back on, off the field, you become the man that we know and that we hope that you can continue to grow and be, because you're still young, you still got it in you, man, and everybody has their times, man. Everybody does. But definitely want to send prayers his way and blessings. You know, business is always booming. Call God. You already know what it is, man. But like I said, it's your boy, Everything Deezy, man. Please make sure I hit that like, comment, share, and subscribe, man. Please subscribe and hit that notification bell for more reactions. Comment below what y'all want me to speak on or react to, or just, you know, give my 2 cents on. Comment below how you feel about Antonio Brown situation and how he could shake back, or if he can or can't. Do you think it was just a meltdown? Put your reactions below, man. But this is what it is and what it ain't. But what it is for sure. Everything Deezy, man. Back at it, man. Peace. Y'all have a blessed one.